here in America in 2022, I came with, we've talked about it before, I came with no money. My mum and dad paid for my first 4 weeks here in America when I wanted to come and train, and that was like right before my PFL debut. So I literally had no money, and as soon as I had my fight, I paid them back everything, all the thousands that they'd give me to be here. So, you know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be the level I am now. So for me, it's all about giving back to them. And people say, like, people ask me about Bulgaria all the time, and why would you want to live in Samakov, or like, you know, they say that sometimes, and I'm like, they're the homely places. I'm still the same person, you know. I love like home comforts and things like that. So money will never change that. You don't get better partners than that, you know. And even though I'm getting like thrown in the air and chucked around, it doesn't really matter. I'm still learning. It'd definitely be a very good matchup between us two, because as well, you know, I fought Santos and she went 5 rounds with Valentina, and Valentina tends to go 5 rounds at the moment, whereas I'm more of like a get in there and get them out after round 1 and 2. So it'd be really exciting to see what would happen between the both of us. I proved to a lot of people that were doubting me, but also myself, you know. I always doubt myself. I used to always doubt myself, I say, but now I'm like very strong in the fact that I make these girls look bad, you know. I think it was like 1 second and I was like, throw it to me, Cody, my brother. I was like, throw it to me. We already planned it before the fight, that we were going to do that, because obviously she did it in the face-off in the last fight, so we carried it into the moment when I won. And yeah, it was kind of on my mind. No, it's definitely not. I mean, when they say nasty things, it makes me more vicious, my coach would say. So if they want to like make me more vicious, that's fine with me, you know, because I'm already crazy enough without all that talking that they all do. So
Добре дошли в спортната джунгла. Соги Георгиев.
ММА звездата с български корени Дакота Дичева се завръща в клетката на 19 юли. Тя ще участва в историческата първа гала вечер на PFL в Африка. Днес специален гост в спортната джунгла ще бъде самата Дакота Дичева. Борнинър продължава да помага на елитни български спортисти в преследването на техните мечти. Разгледайте и поръчайте от протеиновите барове на компанията от техния онлайн магазин. Точният адрес е долу в описанието. Дакота Дичева заминава за щатите без да има никакви пари. Кои са хората, които и помагат да си плати първият 4-седмичен лагер в American Top Team и по какъв начин тя им се отблагодарява. Ще чуете доста интересни подробности за живота на Дакота и на нейното семейство. Спортната джунгла се присъединява към кампанията на Валентис "Победи себе си". Техните продукти, витамини и хранителни добавки са с гарантирано швейцарско качество, чиято цел е да бъдете здрави и силни. Разгледайте повече за Валентис и техните продукти от онлайн магазина им. Адресът е долу в описанието. Каква изненада е подготвила Дакота Дичева за своите български фенове и защо толкова много обича да се връща в нашата страна? Ще разберете, ако останете до края на интервюто. Приятно гледане!
Роден победител.
Dakota, you are making double return in the cage on July 19 in South Africa and at the Jungle of Sports for your own record-breaking 5th time. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know that, so thank you.
How are you feeling in Florida? What's the time? The summer already came, I assume?
The summer, I mean, it feels like summer all the time here in Florida, but it's still so warm, and we haven't even entered summer yet. So I think we've got another month until it gets super hot, but honestly, it's crazy warm over here.
But you're going in less than 2 months in Cape Town, South Africa. It will be winter there, and the average temperatures will be around 10-15 degrees. Do you making some adjustments for such a big change of weather and of course the time difference?
Well, as you know, I'm half English, so I'm used to the cold weather in England. So I don't think I'll have to make too many adjustments. I've already put up with enough cold weather, so I'm sure I'll be just fine. I've got enough fleeces and hoodies ready.
Great. It was long wait before you get scheduled to fight Sumiko Inaba. You never had such a big break between fights, right? Lead us through how an active fighter like you deal with the long wait for the call.
Yeah, I mean, especially over the last few years, I've been super active. I mean, since 2022, I fought 4 times. 2023, I fought 3 times. 2024, number 4. Like, it's been a lot, very busy. So this is like a really, really long layoff for me. I was getting really frustrated. It was a lot to deal with. I think mentally, a lot of fighters will agree that when we don't have something in the pipeline that we're working towards, at times it can get very draining. Like, we're constantly thinking about, like, when's the next fight coming? You know, we still enjoy training and love it, but there's just that little bit of a difference to when you're in camp. But it has been really good for me. What I will say is, like, I'm constantly in camp all the time, and I feel like I learn the most when I'm out of camp. So it's forced me to kind of just relax a little bit and enjoy and try new things and learn new things and work with different partners. And, you know, that's the one good thing that I've taken out of it. But I was definitely ready to fight, and I'm super happy to be back in camp now, for sure.
It's very interesting. Are you making actual fight level of sparrings in ATT during those months of preparation, or you're just keeping a little bit safe for?
Yeah, I'm just keeping a little bit safe. You know, I wasn't sparring. I mean, we spar 2-3 times a week when we're in camp. I've been sparring once a week, sometimes not been sparring. You know, I've just been kind of trying to relax a little bit and try other things. You know, I've been wrestling and things like that. So training's been a lot more relaxed. I've been able to kind of live a little bit of my life as well, you know, not be in the gym all the time. But yeah, it's definitely not as intense as it's going to be now for the next few weeks.
You gave an interview to MMA Junkie on April 17 and mentioned that you would like to fight as soon as possible. And the day after it, you were during the PFL broadcast, and they announced it. Actually, it was, I think, you who announced that you were going to fight in July. It seems that you used that special Dakota Diceva button to ask for this fight.
Yeah, I feel like that's what happened. You know, a lot of people said, I don't know whether PFL kind of, saw my interview and then was like, we need to announce this quick because it got a lot of attention. And that wasn't my intention with the interview that I did. You know, it was the first one I'd done for a very long time. I hadn't done any interviews because nothing was going on. I didn't want to speak too much on PFL because I wasn't sure what was going on myself. Like, a lot of fighters were thinking we were keeping a lot of things behind closed doors, but we just didn't know what was happening with PFL. There were so many changes. They obviously bought Bellator, they got rid of it, they got rid of loads of fighters. Like, everyone's contracts were changing. It's crazy. The tournament changed. You know, it was 4 fights last year. It's 3 fights this year. It's a knockout stage. There's no points. There were so many different changes. So when I did that interview, it kind of got a lot of attention because it was the first time I'd spoke out, and maybe that's kind of what happened with the fight. It kind of pushed them into bringing something out for us, and the fans are super happy now.
It was amazing reality check to see how much influence you are having right now in your position as PFL champion, as unbeaten fighter. All your social media are blooming around, almost 300,000 in Instagram. Congratulations for 50K on your YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's definitely growing, and I was surprised because, I mean, to stay like relevant on social media and things like that, and to keep your account growing, you have to be active, you have to be fighting. You know, that's what people think, like, you know, sometimes fighters like post too much on Instagram, but you have to keep working like towards everything together. You know, you have to keep fighting at the same time as you have to keep posting. And I felt like with no fight coming up, everyone was just like, I felt like everyone was forgetting about me a little bit. But I feel like, you know, with the YouTube, the Instagram, then the interview that I did, it kind of just pushed everyone to like keep pressing on PFL, and the attention kept going there.
And thanks to doing all those great vlogs on your YouTube channel. By the way, how much time it takes you every day or maybe per week to work on that? Because I know you are doing by yourself the edits of YouTube video, and you are so active at Instagram as well. How much time it takes you?
It doesn't take me too much time, really, to be honest. I just kind of sit down, maybe like an hour each night or something like that, and keep editing it along the way. I just put it together, and I feel like people love it most. Like, I could probably get somebody to do it for me, but I feel like me doing it myself and keeping it really real is what the fans and what the viewers like the most. So I just want to keep it really original and just take that little bit of time, even though I don't get that much time between training where I want to sit down and do it all. I think it's important that I do it myself and keep that personal kind of attachment to it.
I think it's something new for the next generation of fighters to work like that by yourself and to do the authentic look into the way you are preparing for the fights, and the people loves it seems. Sumiko Inaba, your next opponent, she has a decent record, 8 wins, 5 stoppages, only 1 loss. What do you think of her fighting style, her strong and weak sides, and how do you see the fight with her going?
Yeah, I feel like she's more of a striker. The first thing I will say is she's such a nice girl, which is going to make this a little bit more tough. But you know what I'm like, when I get in the cage, I'll forget about that. But yeah, super nice girl who I've met a few times. She was actually the backup in the tournament last year a few times. So I did see her around at fight week. Very good striker. She likes to wrestle a little bit as well, but I feel like we'll probably have a little bit more of a striking match. Which will be nice. I'll get to show a little bit more, and hopefully she'll bring a little bit more as well. But we'll see. I say that every time, like whenever I fight a striker, I say, oh yeah, maybe it'll be a striking match, and then they always try to take me down. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited. Yeah, it's like you said, she's got a really good record, so have I, and I think it'll be an exciting matchup.
In the last year, you trained a lot with Kayla Harrison at ATT. Did you manage to learn some judo throws or judigatama, so-called armbar in MMA? And what do you think of her UFC title fight against Juliana Pena, which is coming in the next few days?
That's going to be an amazing fight for sure. Kayla's looking at me. We said this morning when she came in the gym, she's looking super lean, in great shape. And yeah, I have worked with her a little bit. I've drilled with her. I'm drilling with her on Friday as well. But it's been great work for me. You don't get better partners than that, And even though I'm getting like thrown in the air and chucked around, it doesn't really matter. I'm still learning, So for me, it's been amazing to work with somebody like that. And she's such a good example in the gym. She's so dedicated, and it shows by this next fight. She's fighting for a UFC title. So we all can't wait to watch her.
I'm sure you watched closely all your potential rivals, and recently there was a big UFC title fight in your division. What do you think about Shevchenko and Manon Fiorot about that fight? And comparing you to Valentina, how do you see a potential fight between you two, looking at your current form, the way you are looking at the gym and in the last fights that you made last year?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would give her a very good fight. I would probably put it on her a lot more than these other girls. And, what a good fight that was the other day. It just showed Valentina's experience, Manon, she's an amazing fighter. And I expected a little bit more from her when she went in there, but it just showed Valentina's level and the way she can adjust and fight different styles. So it'd definitely be a very good matchup between us two, because as well, I fought Santos and she went 5 rounds with Valentina, and Valentina tends to go 5 rounds at the moment, whereas I'm more of like a get in there and get them out after round 1 and 2. So it'd be really exciting to see what would happen between the both of us. But I'm a big fan of Valentina, so I don't know whether by the time I finished my career I would have ended up fighting her. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Yeah, let's hope someday you're going to fight her. And you mentioned, I think, in your previous interviews that your contract with PFL is over at the beginning of 2026, right?
Yeah, potentially it could be over by next year. We're currently talking about the contract, trying to figure a few things out. I'm really happy with PFL, but I just want to keep fighting, So if they can keep bringing me the good fights as well against the good girls, then I'm really happy with them. They're a great team, and I enjoy fighting for PFL. Like, I'm getting to go to South Africa now, which is, something that I probably wouldn't get to do. But again, like, I want the good competition and the regular fight. So if they can provide those two things, then, we'll stick together for a team, as a team for a while. But we'll see what happens. We're currently talking about the contract now.
Were you surprised that you weren't included in this year PFL tournament? Did they ask you if you want to join?
Kind of. So I wasn't surprised that they didn't put me in it, because they have roughly the same girls that fought last year. So it didn't really make sense. I agree. But to leave me as long as they did without a fight, either put me in the tournament or give me fights. That was what I wanted to do. If you're not going to put me in the tournament, then at least give me somebody to fight. And they didn't do that. They didn't put me in the tournament, and they didn't give me a fight. So that's kind of the only thing that I was surprised about. But tournament wise, I knew that they weren't really thinking about putting me in it anyway, so I wasn't too surprised about that. But again, like I said, it was just the fact that they didn't give me any fight that I was a bit disappointed with.
Yeah, but now you've got one. I would like to return to last year, because it was amazing year. You needed a total time of 21 minutes and 51 seconds to win the PFL season. 4 fights, 4 stoppages, and I would like to bring you to the exact moment when you knocked out Santos in the final. How would you compare that moment emotionally to all your other career wins?
Yeah, wow, that was an important one for me, because I think I've always tried to show such a high level, and I feel like I've gained a lot of respect over the years, but never enough, because the opponents have never been good enough. Now, before the Santos fight, everyone was like, this is Dakota's test. This is somebody that's actually legit, and somebody that's going to give her a good fight. And I thought, if I beat her, what can people say? I'm definitely like one of the top fighters once I've done this. And I felt like, again, when I did beat her, it was kind of a little bit like, this is what I've been telling you all along. And I got mixed reviews. I got like, oh, she's old now. She's not the same Santos she was in the UFC. But then at the same time, I got a lot of good comments as well. So it was a very big moment for me, just because I proved to a lot of people that were doubting me, but also myself. I always doubt myself. I used to always doubt myself, I say, but now I'm like very strong in the fact that I make these girls look bad. I'm not fighting easy people. I'm not fighting easy fights. I'm fighting my fight and making them look like that. So for me now, it gained a lot of confidence for myself. I think that win, and that's probably why I celebrated it so much, because it proved a lot to myself as well. It proved everything that my team have been telling me for many years.
And the lipstick promo was legendary. How much time after the knockout came, the thought in your mind about the lipstick also came around, and you asked for that lipstick? How much time you need to proceed that?
I think it was like 1 second, and I was like, throw it to me, Cody, my brother. I was like, throw it to me. We already planned it before the fight, that we were going to do that, because obviously she did it in the face-off in the last fight, so we carried it into the moment when I won. And yeah, it was kind of on my mind. But I always say I only celebrate if I get a good win. So if I go to points, I probably wouldn't celebrate or do anything funny, because I haven't earned it, But when I earn a good stoppage, I always make sure I do something special afterwards.
Скъпи приятели, ако това видео ви харесва, дайте едно лайкче, абонирайте се за Спортната джунгла, натиснете камбанката и може да проследите нашите социални мрежи Facebook и Instagram, където ви очакват актуални новини от света на бойните спортове. Пълните версии на тези новини са налични на нашия сайт jungle.bg. Огромни благодарности към членовете на YouTube канала Спортната джунгла, които помагат за нашето развитие. Вие също може да се присъедините към тях. Приятно гледане! And probably you already forgot when was the last time when you won on points, because it was 3 years ago or maybe more.
Yeah, 2022 I think, maybe. It's a long time ago. Yeah, I've been doing well. I mean, being here in the ATT and just working and just dedicating my life to this sport has really shown for me. And like we said about the people I'm working with in the gym, it's showing in my performance that it makes a difference when you've got high level people around you.
Do you think that from now on, some other girl will dare to call you Barbie or the sweet blondie that got pushed with easy matches by PFL, as Taylor Santos mentioned before that during the entire tournament last year?
I mean, we're always going to get like a few people or like somebody that's trying to sell the fight, you know, that's trying to get a bit of attention that'll say something. But I think I gained a lot of respect last year and it's shut a lot of people up. So I don't think they're going to come with all the Barbie stuff and things like that now.
It's not good for their health, I assume.
No, it's definitely not. I mean, when they say nasty things, it makes me more vicious, my coach would say. So if they want to like make me more vicious, that's fine with me, you know, because I'm already crazy enough without all that talking that they all do. So it only makes it worse for them.
The first thing that you do with the million that you won was to pay the mortgage of your parents' house. Was that one of your main motivations to be such a wrecking ball in the cage last year during the entire tournament?
Yeah, I think so. Not just last year, but you know, my whole career, you know, I wouldn't have been able to do that without my parents. Coming here in America in 2022, I came with, we've talked about it before, I came with no money. My mum and dad paid for my first 4 weeks here in America when I wanted to come and train, and that was like right before my PFL debut. So I literally had no money, and as soon as I had my fight, I paid them back everything, all the thousands that they'd give me to be here. So, you know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be the level I am now. So for me, it's all about giving back to them and, you know, making sure that they have the best life and making a difference. So paying their mortgage was like a massive thing for me and something I've wanted to do for many years now.
And you're a great example because you already became a millionaire because of that million, but you are still living very modest life in small rooms. Your room in United Kingdom is also very small.
Yeah.
I don't believe that there is another millionaire in the world who is living in such a small room.
Yeah, I know. I need to tell my mum and dad to get an extension on the house or something. But yeah, my room is tiny, and like I show all that on YouTube because it's real life. You know, I haven't changed. My family hasn't changed just because we've won this money. We're still the same people. We're still living in the same house. We're just now more secure and, you know, less stressed. But we want to be the same people. You know, people say like people ask me about Bulgaria all the time, and why would you want to live in Samakov, or like, you know, they say that sometimes, and I'm like, they're the homely places. I'm still the same person, you know. I love like home comforts and things like that. So money will never change that. Money will never change, you know. I don't want to live in a massive house where it not feel like home. Like for me, I want everything to stay the same, but be able to achieve good things and give the family a good life.
Nice. You've been in Bulgaria during last Christmas. Were you surprised by the huge amount of snow? It was maybe 1 meter or more when you went there.
We were so, even my dad goes every year as well. Like he was like, we haven't had snow like this in Samakov for about 20 years. It was crazy, but it was amazing because we hadn't seen that since we were really, really young. You know, we've been going since we were babies, and it's been a while since. That was actually the first time in like 10 years the whole family had been together. So my 3 brothers and my mum and dad, because normally it's like just my mum and dad who go, or my mum and dad and just my little brother, or, you know, because we're all so busy flying around. But Christmas was like the first time in 10 years that we all went together, and even my dad's family in Bulgaria were all like quite emotional that they'd seen us all together for, you know, the first time in a while. So it was a special Christmas with the snow, but also the fact that we were all together as well.
And everybody could experience all your adventures there because of your vlog that you made, my favorite vlog of your entire channel. How the skiing and 4-wheel biking went during that time for you?
Skiing was good. Biking, I never bike in the snow. That's the one thing I want to do this year. I think straight after this fight, I'm going to go back home, and then I'm going to go to Bulgaria because I felt like I haven't biked in ages, and I like to go to Steparovo and ride up the mountains with a few of the friends, so I'm definitely going to do that. But again, they're like the simple things that I really miss, you know, that I hope never changes. I still want to be the, you know, the girl that goes off and does all that in Bulgaria. So yeah, I'm excited to maybe have that. That was the good thing about the tournament as well. It gave me a little bit more time to go different places, you know, and with not being in this tournament this year, I can have this fight and then go to Bulgaria and do the stuff that I missed out on last year.
Amazing. And if it's possible, probably if you have, of course, time, you could come to Sofia or similar city to meet with young fighters and to speak with them, to show them some tricks. Is it okay if, of course, if there is an opportunity for that?
Yes, of course. Yeah, we talked about that. We're definitely going to organise something maybe in July, early July. I can come to Sofia and do some seminars or something, do some training with people. I would absolutely love to do that. So, I mean, I'm sure I'll be able to organise that with you soon and then let everybody know. But I'm excited to come down and meet everyone for sure.
Great. It will be amazing experience for everyone in Bulgaria. I would like to wish you good luck. July 19, you're returning to PFL Cage. I wish you good luck and I hope to see once again amazing performance by you.
Thank you so much. Merci много.
Благодаря, Дакота. Приятен ден и всичко най-хубаво от нас.
И на теб. Мерси. Чао, чао.